This is a place that I've not been to for a few months. It's Gibraltar Plantation, and I do love Gibraltar Plantation. It's generally very quiet, only attended by a few dog walkers at most, and quite often you can spend a couple of hours along these shady rides and not see a soul. These same shady rides play host to one of our most underrated but not particularly colourful butterflies. It's the home of the ringlet butterfly. Now this is perfect ringlet habitat. This is the kind of habitat that they love. It is a widespread butterfly nowadays in Nottinghamshire, and any wooded habitat is sure to hold numbers of this common butterfly. It hasn't always been common, or at least it hasn't always seemed common. I remember when I was younger, back in the 1980s, we never had any records of ringlets from the county at all, and I do remember seeing ringlet and gatekeeper as well for the very first time. Nowadays, though, it's a totally different picture, and the butterfly has spread. This is the typical habitat, as I mentioned, but occasionally it'll turn up out of sorts, really. I've had several records in the garden, and that's just a terraced house in the middle of Warsaw. But you may well be able to start and see a couple of ringlets just further down, flitting around in the grass, and this is how you'll find ringlets. The other best way is to stand by the side of a bramble patch and wait, because they are fond of nectaring bramble. And when they are nectaring, the wings are usually closed, and that's the chance that you'll get to see why these butterflies are named ringlet. And here's a nice confiding pair of ringlets that are allowing a very unusual close approach. Even while two are engaged in this act, they're usually quite flighty and will move off to quieter parts upon disturbance. These two don't seem bothered at all, and that's good, because it gives us a chance to have a look at the underside of this butterfly. And it really is quite a nice butterfly. The upside, yes, is dark chocolate brown, and that's the impression that the butterfly gives while in flight amongst tall grasses. But see them with the wings closed like this, it's a much warmer brown. We've got those 5 eyelets on the underside of the hind wings there, a group of 3 and a group of 2. The eyelets are black, the central dot is white, but they're ringed in almost a yellow colour. They are quite attractive, and it's very obvious where it gets the name ringlet from. Nice bit of sun now that's just come out, and it makes it very pleasant if one wants to think about basking in the sun. You can just about see that dark chocolate upper surface to both forewings and hind wings. These butterflies, or the females of ringlets, lay their eggs while in flight. They don't bother searching out food plants, but they will lay while they're flying in and amongst grasses. I remember seeing once with Gary Wilson many years ago, it would have been in the 1980s, and we was watching a ringlet, and all of a sudden it dropped an egg in flight, and we both saw this egg drop into the grasses. It's the only time I've ever seen it. But what lovely butterflies. I've got 2 ringlets here. These are 2 males. There's 4 or 5 in this clump of nettles and goosegrass. And the males from memory, are usually slightly darker on the underside than the females, and of course the males are also slightly smaller. And there's that lovely coloration, that rich sort of dark chocolate coloration. They'll often spend quite a long time basking in the sun, or often with the wings open anyway, even in dull conditions. It is a lovely butterfly. It's not going to be the first one you run to in a choice for colour, but you have to appreciate the beauty in these dark browns of this colour. It's turning out to be absolutely glorious now. Been quite a lot of cloud on and off today. The sun keeps coming and going. But it's been nice to get some footage of ringlets. I do like ringlet. I say it's very underrated. No one gives it a second glance because it's just dull and brown, almost black appearing. But it's a delightful little butterfly. Flies beautifully. I do like the way ringlets just sort of flit in and out between the grass. And it's never a hurried flight either, like some butterflies. So it's a species to look out for. It's flying around at the moment and will do throughout the rest of June and July. It's a very common species and you shouldn't be hard pressed to find it. So that's the ringlet, one of several browns that are on the wing or just about to come onto the wing. Hopefully we might see them later in the summer as the summer progresses. Now it's time to progress towards a refreshing drink.